Hello and a warm welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV Midday News in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Anthony Momodu. President Bola Tinubu will today depart Abuja for Dubai, the United Arab Emirates, to attend the COP28 Climate Summit, also known as the 28th United Nations Climate Change Conference. This was contained in a statement signed by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, revealed Tuesday at the Leaders Summit with the theme, Unite, Act and Deliver. President Tinubu will advocate increased financial and technological support for developing nations, while reminding developed countries of their public pledge to provide $100 billion annually for support to localize initiatives to address climate change-related challenges. Security has been beefed up at the National Assembly ahead of the presentation of the 2024 Appropriation Bill by President Bola Tinubu. Men of the Department of State Services deployed to man the entrance gates are restricting access to the complex. Security agents are deployed to ensure that only those with legitimate business at the National Assembly complex are allowed in. And still in the news, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Dele Alake, has offered lower production costs and untapped mineral resources as part of fresh incentives to woo prospective foreign investors. The minister gave the offer at the Mines and Money Conference held in London on Tuesday. According to a statement signed by his special advisor, Kehinde Bamigbeton, Alake, addressing global stakeholders in the mining industry, pitched for more investment in Nigeria, listing unique advantages such as lower production costs due to surface mining and billions of dollars in untapped minerals. Alake said the current administration has embarked on reforms to boost investment by streamlining procedures and reducing hurdles to attract foreign investors. He also quoted recent reports that mining's contribution to Nigeria's GDP rose from 0.3% to 0.85% last year, indicating 0.63% year-on-year growth. Alake further urged investors to support the socio-economic development of the communities where they mine to make mining mutually beneficial. And moving to the education sector, Minister of Education Tahir Mamman has called for a judicious use of $1.2 billion World Bank loan to tackle adolescent girls' education in Nigeria. Mamman stated this in Abuja on Tuesday while inaugurating the National Steering Committee of the Adolescent Girls Initiative for Learning and Empowerment. The Agile National Project Coordinator Amina Haruna said the focus was to improve secondary education among girls in targeted areas in participating states. Haruna listed the 18 participating states as Adamawa, Bauchi, Borno, Ekiti, Gombe, Jigawa, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Kogi, Kwara, Nasarawa, Niger, Plateau, Sokoto, Yobe, and Zamfara. She said over 2.4 million girls benefited from the program across 7 states. Also, Shubhan Chowdhury, the World Bank country director for Nigeria, disclosed that while $500 million was initially approved by the bank, another approval of $700 million had brought the facility to $1.2 billion. The Minister of State Police Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, has empowered no fewer than 500 women of Nasarawa state origin with grinding and sewing machines in order to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal and to make them self-reliant. Speaking during the distribution on Tuesday in the Kefi local government area of the state, the minister said the gesture was in line with President Bola Tinubu's administration's desire to boost the small and medium-scale enterprises in the country. While urging the beneficiaries to make good use of the machines, Suleiman Ibrahim, who is also an indigene of the state, appealed to all residents to continue to give the needed support to the Tinubu administration to enable him to serve them better. The chairman of the Administration and Finance Committee, AFC, of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, Yakubu Daudu, has presented a draft 2024 consolidated community budget of 397,215,748 units of account before ECOWAS Parliament for consideration. The budget presented before the Parliament on Tuesday, however, represented a decrease of 5% compared to that of 2023, which was 418,072,488 units of account. The 2023 budget saw an increase of about 24,460,009 units of account, representing 6% when compared to approved budget of 2022 of the sum of 393,612,400 units of account. Consequently, the Parliament referred it to an ad hoc committee set up by the plenary in accordance with the Parliament's rule of procedure. The committee is chaired by the First Deputy Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Ahmed Idris Wase. It was expected to scrutinize the draft budget and report to the plenary with its opinion and recommendations for adoption. The 2024 draft budget allocated 23,215,934 units of account to ECOWAS Parliament, 16,417,047 units of account to the ECOWAS Court of Justice, while 62,689,949 units of account to the West African Health Organization, and 12,017,701 units of account to Intergovernmental Group Against Money Laundering, the Office of the Auditor General, ECOWAS Commission, Special Programs and Interventions in the Member States, and Peace and Security. The Nigerian Correctional Service Enugu State Command says it has registered 1,137 inmates for the National Examination Council of Nigeria external exams in the last 12 years. This was disclosed by the Controller of Corrections, Nicholas Obiako, on Tuesday in Enugu. The controller said that 124 inmates were taking the ongoing NECO external examination at the Special Study Center within the Enugu Custodial Center, adding that the 3 custodial centers in the state comprising Enugu, Nsukka, and Oji River had been doing well as far as educational pursuits and formation of inmates were concerned. And still in the news, the nation's capital, Abuja, is the host of a multi-stakeholder roundtable discourse on the collective responsibility for ensuring the safety of journalists in Nigeria. These stakeholders unanimously agree that journalists in the country do not receive the required support and protection deserved from the government and relevant state actors. Global Television correspondent tells us more. God, resident representative Frederick Stiff-Tongue, Nigeria, in his opening remarks expressed belief in the strides and contributions of the media in nation building, thus the need to protect journalists. On his part, the Executive Director, Media Rights Agenda, Edeton Ojo, says Nigeria has made zero progress on the safety of journalists despite local and foreign efforts to safeguard journalists.
I think that is a critical juncture where the safety and security of journalists demand our unwavering attention and collaborative action, not just in Nigeria but worldwide.
We see an escalating situation of attacks against journalists in different parts of the country, and the numbers that we're seeing actually indicate that the number of journalists being attacked are on the rise. So the reason we're having this is to agree on a framework that can be used to address this problem.
Dayton warned that if journalists don't feel safe and secure to do their work, the country will be worse for it. Other journalists also bear their minds on the challenges faced.
If journalists do not feel safe and secure and therefore able to do their work, the country is going to be worse off for it. So if we can create an environment where journalists feel safe, where they feel secure, where they're not harassed or intimidated and they're able to do their work, then obviously citizens are going to be getting a lot more reliable and useful information.
Attacks on journalists are quite problematic. The numbers are troublesome. The ones we even see that are reported, the ones we see online, is nothing compared to the ones that happen offline. It's also nothing compared to the ones that happen that are not reported or underreported. For fear of repercussion, for fear of retribution, some people do not even report.
If anything happens to you in the line of duty, you are also supposed to let us know. Report such to the union, and we take it up as a union.
One of the high points of the gathering was the presentation on press attacks via geopolitical zones, which shows that 20 to 30% of journalists killed happened in the southeast, with 84 attacks.
From 1986 to 2023, we've been able to track and verify 1,034 journalists have been attacked over the years. And these attacks include physical attacks, unlawful imprisonment, slaps, fines, sanction, unlawful arrest, equipment damage, seizure, and even murder.
And the women, attacks on women are not that unreported.
There are also some attacks that really don't get on the news, which would now behove on the victim to speak out.
The multi-stakeholders posit that for the Nigerian government to meet her international commitment to treaties and parts to protect journalists in the country, the Nigerian government and relevant state actors must be deliberate in protecting journalists at all costs. Anthony Momodu in Abuja, Global Television News. The Kano State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has destroyed over 15.7 tons of narcotic drugs and other psychotropic substances seized in the last 3 years. The command's public relations officer, Sadiq Megatari, disclosed this in a statement issued on Monday. He also said the destruction operation covered the period from October 8, 2020 to October 17, 2023. He maintained that the substances included cannabis sativa, cocaine, psychotropic substances, methamphetamine, barbiturates, and assorted expired drugs. He reiterated the agency's commitment to eradicating illicit drugs in every local government by establishing divisional narcotic offices, as approved by its chairman and chief executive officer, Brigadier General Mohammed Buba Marwa, retired. You're watching Global TV Midday News, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times Channel 276. Kindly follow us across social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the Midday News returns, U.S. military aircraft with 8 crew crashes off Japan. The news continues shortly with details of these and other stories right after this break. Stay with us. Come back from the break, and on the foreign scene, a U.S. Osprey military aircraft with 8 crew on board crashed on Wednesday off the coast of Japan, the Coast Guard said. The island of Yukushima lies south of Japan's southernmost main island of Kyushu. Reports has it that Osprey departed from the Iwakuni U.S. base in Yamaguchi region, headed for the Kadena base in Okinawa. The Toyota Ruto Osprey aircraft has a troubled history with a string of fatal crashes over the years. And moving to South Africa, an elevator carrying workers to the surface at a giant South African platinum mine plunged out of control, killing 11 and injuring 75. The mine operators said on Tuesday. Pala Platinum said the devastating accident happened on Monday at its Rustenburg mine northwest of Johannesburg, as more than 80 employees were leaving a shaft at the end of their shift. The alert was raised shortly before 5 p.m. as the lift unexpectedly started descending, according to the company. Rescue operations had been completed and all the 86 employees involved were accounted for. It added, Implat said all operations at the mine was suspended on Tuesday as investigation into the accident went ahead. Hurricane force winds and snowfall have left 10 people dead and 23, including children, were injured in Ukraine, piling pressure on emergency services and energy grid already burdened by Russia's invasion. The storm has lashed swathes of the south of the country as well as the Crimean Peninsula that was annexed by the Kremlin and regions in southern Russia. Ukraine's energy grid and rescue services have been overextended by Russia's nearly 2-year invasion. The military said the hardest hit area was the southern Odessa region, where emergency services said they had provided assistance to nearly 2,500 people. Authorities had earlier said the storms had left 5 people dead. Chinese leader Xi Jinping on Tuesday has ordered greater protection for international frame rights and intellectual property as Beijing works to lure in foreign companies spooked by a crackdown and an ailing economy. U.S. and European firms in China have said that doing business is harder than ever as geopolitics and anti-espionage law raids on multinationals and favorable treatment for domestic competitors weigh on morals. She is in a written speech to an APEC summit of the chief executives this month, invited firms to invest, promising heartwarming measures to make it easier for foreign companies to invest and operate in China. Foreign entrepreneurs have long complained about the vague and arbitrary regulations in China, chief among them being intellectual property theft, an issue raised by U.S. officials during visits to China this year. U.S. and European enterprise lobbies warned in September that foreign business confidence in China had reached its lowest in years as slowing growth and geopolitical tensions hit investment prospects. And jumping into the exciting world of sports, Super Falcons coach Justin Madugu is optimistic that he has the squad to beat Cape Verde in their 2024 African Women's Cup of Nations final round first leg qualifier at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Thursday. The Super Falcons are without top stars Azizat Oshoala, Jennifer Echegini, Halimatu Ayinde, Ifoma Onumonu, and Michelle Alozie. They opted out of the game for various reasons, but Madugu says he has good substitute for them. 20 of the 21 invited players were at the team's camp yesterday, with only University of Pittsburgh of America's Deborah Abiodun still being expected as of last night. Nigeria reached this final stage of the qualification series following the withdrawal of Sao Tome senior girls from the second round fixture in September. Tomorrow's encounter will begin at 4 p.m. Nigerian time, with Madugu most likely to hand leadership of the rear guard to Mexico-based veteran Osinachi Ohale, who was among the first players in camp, and with captain Rasheedat Ajibade to lead midfield and attack that could include Peace Effie, Tony Payne, Esther Onyeneze, and Omori Babajide, and Esther Okoronkwo, Uche Kanu, and Gift Monday. Nigerian winger Samuel Chukwueze scored his first goal for AC Milan in their UEFA Champions League match against Borussia Dortmund in San Siro on Tuesday. Chukwueze leveled the result for the Rossoneri on the night after 37 minutes with a spectacular solo effort dribbling past two Dortmund players before smashing a low shot right into the bottom corner. Milan earlier had a chance to open the scoring, but Olivier Giroud missed his penalty in the 6th minute as he was denied by Gregor Kobel. Marcus Roos then scored the opener with a penalty of his own in the 10th minute, sending his effort into the top left corner. And that's how we call it a wrap on the midday news. I am Anthony Momodu. Good afternoon, Nigeria.